Hey everybody, so I want to come on and do the controversial parenting tag for you today. It's kind of a video that's going around like wildfire through the community, so I figured I would go ahead and do it as well. I like the fact that you get to know a little bit more about the moms that you're watching and kind of their parenting views or choices, or a little bit more just about them in general. But I want to say before answering any of these questions or any of these topics or anything like that, that if you're gonna watch my video, please don't leave rude comments in the down bar. This is just my opinion, on these topics. I'm not gonna go and trash your video or something like that for the way you feel on these certain subjects. So please just be nice and yeah. So we'll go ahead and get started. First topic is pro-life versus pro-choice. And I am very much 100% pro-life. I believe that a baby is a baby from conception. As soon as the sperm and the egg meet and they make, or the baby implants into the uterus, I believe that it's a person. It's a living thing, and I don't believe that people should be able to go around and use abortion as their birth control. I think it's just horrible and cruel, and there's so many other things I could say about it, but I will just keep it at that. I think that if you're going to be sexually active, you need to pay the consequences, and if you don't feel like you're ready for a child or something like that, there's always adoption. Don't just jump into having, an abortion and throwing away this living thing like it's just garbage. So yeah, that's my that's my view on that topic. Next one is baby wearing, and this is a topic that I love. I tried to do baby wearing when we, first had Tara. I had purchased the Moby wrap, but it was a little bit difficult for me to use, and I got really hot wearing it. But she loved it. When she was a newborn, she liked that warmth, and she fell asleep in it really easily. So we continued to use it until she got a little bigger. And then I wanted something, that was a little bit easier to put on, and something that she could kind of wear long term. So I went out and I did some research. I was going to get the Ergo, but my husband and I are both bigger people, and I wanted something that could fit him as well. So we went and tried on a ton of different styles. And the one that worked for us was the Mamas and Papas Baby Morph Carrier. It's sold at Babies R Us, and it's really easy to use. It's like a harness you put on, and it clips in the front. And then it has like a second piece that you just put the baby in, and then you kind of pick it up with some handles on the outside, and you set them in the snaps and kind of hook it all together. So I love that. It was really easy, like I said, really easy to use, but it hurt my back. So I kind of stopped using it, and I never kind of just got back into it because she is now, crawling, and it just was easier for us to use as a stroller. So that's kind of where we are now, but I'm definitely for baby wearing. I think it's a great thing. When I did do it, it was nice because, I had both my hands free. I could go do stuff. I didn't have to lug around a stroller, but, I just kind of got used to the stroller thing. So yeah, whatever. That is that. Next one is circumcision. And this is a topic I'm not going to talk about because I haven't done pretty much zero research on it. And I don't have a baby boy. I don't have a reason to kind of look into it just yet. And I don't want to sound like an idiot talking about it. So we're just going to skip it. Next topic is adoption. And this kind of plays into the pro-life versus pro-choice thing. I am 100% for adoption. I don't really know how you couldn't be for adoption. I mean, there are tons of families out there that are in want of having a child, or, whatever. And there's tons of children out there, babies out there that have no families. So that's kind of it's the perfect solution. Obviously, that's why it's there. For me, if I for some reason can't biologically have another child, I would look into adoption, or I would definitely look into surrogacy. I have no nothing bad to say about either of those. So yeah, I would definitely do it if I had to. Next topic is baby piercing. And this is probably this probably means like piercing your daughter's ears. And when I originally had gotten pregnant with Tara, or even prior to that, before even, conception or anything like that, I thought that I would get her ears pierced. But the more research that I did on it, and the more questions I asked, because I have a few friends that are body piercers and whatnot. So they told me and gave me some things to look up about the piercing guns, and that would like be the only option to do with a baby. But there's been so much research done about how they rip the skin and cause extra pain and infection and things like that. I know that all of us from my generation and my mom's generation, that's pretty much how they did it, and most people didn't have any problems with it. But now, just with the newer research, I just didn't feel comfortable risking that with my daughter. So uh, I'm just going to wait until she's old enough to let me know she wants to have her ears pierced, and then we'll go to an actual piercing place. We'll like purchase her earrings elsewhere, and we'll go to a piercing place so that they can use a professional needle. And I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't use a needle now on her, or even when she was a newborn, because it would scare the crap out of me, for one, because risk that those needles are very sharp. There's risk of it going too far and poking her in the back of the head, or I don't know, just too many things that I would not want to have happen to my child. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going to do, is just wait till she's older. Next topic, breastfeeding versus formula feeding. And this is a topic that's very close to my heart. If you've watched any of my videos before, even like before Tara was born, my 100% goal, and I still believe that, breastfeeding is the best. But I kind of explain a little bit about it, is, I wanted to breastfeed for a full year. We took breastfeeding classes. After she was born, we latched her on right away. We tried everything, did lactation consultant. We went to these classes a few weeks after she was born. It's not the La Leche League, but it was just another group that met every other week, and they kind of got together, and they would all give mom advice and breastfeeding advice to everybody. There was also a lactation consultant there. So I mean, I did everything possible to breastfeed my daughter, but I was unable to do so. So for me, formula feeding, I kind of am okay with that as well, because I had no option as to do it. It's not like you're giving your child this horrible stuff. They've done so much research and changing it over the years that there's so many different kinds out there now, and things. It's not as bad as it used to be. So I'm completely fine with using formula, but I still think that if you need to at least try to breastfeed, and I gave it my 100% all, and tried breastfeeding my daughter, but it didn't work. I'm gonna try with my second child, and see if things change. Hopefully I'm able to breastfeed, but if not, then I'm not going to beat myself up about it, because I know that maybe it's just something I'm not able to do, and I've kind of moved on from that now. Next topic is spanking. There's not really much to say about it. I was not spanked as a child. I don't see it as a horrible thing, but I don't see it as something I would do all the time unless absolutely necessary. I find, other ways of disciplining your children are probably better. But, whatever, if that's, I'm kind of whatever with that whole topic. There's nothing really bad to me about it, but it's just not something I would do, I guess. What else? Next topic. Sorry, I'm losing my track. Co-sleeping. I am totally for co-sleeping, I guess. I did it with Tara. You know, we didn't sleep with her in our bed. I guess that's considered bed sharing. But we did co-sleep. She slept in her pack and play up until about 2 months of age in our room. And then we kind of slowly started transitioning her into her own crib. And, you know, she started sleeping through the night, and it was working great for us. So we continued on with that until about 6.5 months or so. She started going through what the doctor calls sleep regression. Now, I've done some research on it as well. Basically, they just have so much new stuff that they've learned, you know, crawling, standing up, clapping, whatever that they're doing at that time, that they want to be doing that is from the second anything kind of wakes them up. Instead of falling back asleep, they get up and they try and do stuff. So basically from about 6.5 months or so until now, she's 9 months old, she has been waking up in the middle of the night. And instead of me waking up with her, because I am a working mom, you know, and I have to sometimes get up early, you know, I just put her in bed with me. So we are doing a little bit of bed sharing now. So I'm completely all for it. I think it's great. And it just makes life easier sometimes. Let's see. Next topic is home, public, private, or charter school. I was in a public school growing up. The public schools when I was younger were much better than they are now. It seems like, especially in the area that I live in, they're just crap. Basically, there's a lot of violence that goes around. There's a lot of sexual things that go around. They're basically not learning as much as they could. The teachers just seem not to give a crap, I guess. So I would try and avoid at all costs putting her in a public school if I can. Private school is probably not an option for us. I think it's a wonderful thing, but it's probably just not going to be, you know, in our budget. It's very expensive. Charter schooling, I don't know too much about it, but I know my husband's best friend's children were in a charter school and they loved it. But I think the nearest one to us is like 30 minutes away or something. I don't even really know. But that would probably be hard to get her back and forth to school. But if, you know, say we moved and there was one closer, I would definitely love to put my daughter in a charter school if we could get her in. And then my last choice, or the last one, is homeschooling. And if I were to be a stay-at-home mom in the future, and that was an option for us, I would definitely take it. I think that would be great to have my daughter home with me every day, and be able to teach her, you know, what she needs to learn, but in a safe zone, in a comfortable place. And we wouldn't have to get up or go anywhere, you know, in the mornings. We'd just be able to stay home and learn in our pajamas. So yeah, that would be a great option if I can do that. So that's kind of my take on all of those. Vaccines is the next topic. I am completely for vaccinations. We are vaccinating Tara. I think that they're there for a reason. They have been developed for a reason and studied. I know that there are things that maybe can happen with vaccinations, allergic reactions, things like that. But there's so much more benefits than there are things that can happen with vaccinations. At least in the research that I've done, I know there's probably other things out there, you know, that you can read and it kind of would change your perspective on it. But I think that if you can vaccinate your child and prevent something from happening to them, like, you know, them getting very, very ill from something, then why not do it? Because if something were to happen and I, say, didn't vaccinate Tara, I would feel like the worst mom in the world, knowing that I could have prevented it. So that's kind of my take on that. Medicating babies. For us, we are just sticking with Tylenol. That's the only thing Tara has ever had. I don't see the reason to medicate your child unless it's 100% necessary. If they have some kind of illness, you know, there are babies that have cancer, you know, other things out there. If a baby has reflux and they're not able to eat and they're losing weight, and you have to medicate them for that reason, then, you know, that's something you have to do. So yeah, I'm completely for it if it's necessary, but for us, you know, it hasn't been necessary, so we've done nothing but give her Tylenol occasionally for teething. Everything else has been natural. Highlands teething tablets, amber teething necklace, the frozen teethers that you that they gnaw on. So yeah, that's kind of that subject. What's the next one? Cloth versus disposables. We are a cloth diapering family, but I am not against disposables. You know, I kind of am like for both, I guess you could say. Originally, you know, when I first got pregnant, I knew nothing about cloth diapers. I was just going to use disposables because that's kind of what everybody I knew around me did. I knew nobody that used cloth. But the more research I did, the more videos I watched on YouTube, the more involved I got in the community, I learned more, and I just found out that it is great not only for the earth, but it's great on your budget. It's great for the child. It's great in so many ways. So we definitely jumped into it full force. I probably spent more money than I should have on cloth diapers, but in the long run, it has paid off. We haven't nearly had to, you know, we haven't had to nearly buy the amount of money the money I spent on cloth diapers in disposables, if that makes sense. But she does use disposables when she is at her grandparents' house a couple times a month, or when we're out on vacation, because I just don't want to have to worry about it or stress other people out about it. It is my decision to cloth diaper. I don't want to force it on other people. If they want to use disposables and they want to pay for them while watching my child, then that's fine. And I would also rather them not use them and risk them ruining them, you know, like throwing them in with some soap or something like that, and then it just makes a huge big mess for me. So if they want to use disposables with her, that's completely fine. But 95% of the time when she's home with us, she is in cloth diapers. Last topic is the cry it out method, and I am completely against the cry it out method. I think it's cruel. I think that babies don't understand at that young of an age why you're just locking them in a dark room and making them cry themselves to sleep. If it were me and I had to cry myself to sleep, I mean, that makes me sick thinking about it. I would not want to put my daughter through that. You know, I'm a lover. I always have been, and I want to be cuddled to sleep or comfortable when I'm going to sleep or just happy and, you know, all of those things. And crying it out is not that at all. So it's not something my family will ever do with any of our children. My mom didn't do it with me that I'm aware of. So yeah, it just sounds horrible. And that's just basically that in a nutshell is it's just not an option for us. So I think that's all the topics. Ooh, sorry, age. If you have any questions or anything, go ahead and leave them in the down bar. I'm going to put some links in the down bar to a few of these things. If I can find out, you know, the webpage where I was reading about the baby piercing, I'll put that in the down bar. And then also a link to where I bought my baby carrier, if you're interested, in the down bar as well. So you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.